Now, let's listen at the conversation between a troubled coworker and a consultant about organization behavior that she having at the workplace.
Thanks for doing this consideration, Lisa. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm completely checked out at work. When I joined this software firm, it was because my personal terminal value is centered on automatic, continuous learning, and creativity. But the daily reality here is a massive shock to my system. I'm a natural introvert with a high openness to experience, which means I'm trying and I can quickly sink my teeth into complex, creative coding challenge. But instead, I'm stuck with in the hyper-rigid micromanagement structure. My personality and value are actively fighting against my environment every single day. What you experience, Fifi, is a classic breakdown in person organization fit. In organization behavior, we look at the interaction with the individual, internet trade, and the company operating environment. Your personality profile shows a high conscientiousness and openness but low extraversion. You require deep work state to generate value. However, your company instrumental value, the acceptable daily behavior they enforce, are prioritized constant, loud, and proactive collaboration. When your terminal value of personal growth clash with their instructional demands, it creates a cognitive dissonance. You feel like you are wearing a mask just to survive your shift. That's exactly it. It feels like I'm putting 90% of my daily energy just to try pretend that I'm enjoying their hyper collaborative corporate culture, living with my 20% to actually do my actual job. I'm exhausted myself before I even read a single line of code. Now let's look at how the exhaustion is changing how you view your team because this is linked directly to perception. Perception is a cognitive process that we use to interpret in our environment and give it a meaning. The problem is our brain loves shortcuts, especially when we are tired. For example, when your manager sends you a calendar invite out of nowhere and no context and agenda, what is your immediate thought process? I instantly assume she's tracking my hour or trying to catch me slacking off. I assume she's naturally a controlling person who doesn't trust her engineering team. There, you are falling into fundamental attribution error. When we observe others, we tend to underestimate the influence of external situation factor and overestimate the influence of internal character-based factor. You assume she is tracking you because she is controlling. In reality, the external situation might be that her directors are demanding immediate rigid metric. Furthermore, you are experiencing selective perception. Already feel trapped, your brain selectively filters for negativity, rigid event to confirm your bias, while completely ignoring the time your manager give you total flexibility. I didn't think that way. Last week, she actually let me push my deadline back to 2 whole days without any pushback. And I barely registered it as a positive. I just stay focused on the fact that she checked my daily log on Monday. My brain is literally hunting for a reason to stay annoyed. But even if my perception is good, my motivation is still completely there. I used to be driven by motivation that I genuinely love solving logic problems. But now, the only thing keeping me in my seat is the paycheck at the end of the month. How do I feel my drive when the daily work feels like a total chore? To fix your motivation, we need to move past simple reward and look at the job characteristic model. This model proves that internal motivation relies on three criteria for psychological state: experiencing meaningfulness, feeling personal responsibility, and knowing that the actual result of your work. Right now, your tasks lack variety and autonomy. They lack meaning. To fix this, you need to initiate job crafting. This means proactively reshaping your daily tasks to a better align with your skill and value. Job crafting sounds nice, but how does an engineer do that in a really good company? I just can't rewrite my entire job description though. You don't rewrite it, you pivot your focus. For example, look at the repetitive manual data pipeline you have built every week. Can you propose a project where you spend 20% of your time designing an automatic system to handle those pipelines? Designing that system introduces task variety and autonomy. When you connect that automation to how much faster your team can deploy product, you can restore tasks significant. By engineering your own tasks, you can unlock your intrinsic motivation without waiting for the company to change. The idea of pitching the project actually magnifies the chronic sales founder mismatch over the 5 6 months has completely drained me. I'm missing his physical symptom like terrible sleep, zero focus, and cause irritability. Even if I want to craft my job, I feel like I'm running on empty. Yeah, that is the structural tone for the prolonged role strain and exhaustion. Stress management isn't just afterthought, it's the foundation of performance. When your environmental demand consistently outweighs your internal resources, your body stays in the perpetual fight or flight state. To break this, you need both behavioral and cognitive stress strategy. Behaviorally, you must establish hard boundary. Turn off your work messaging apps precisely at 6 p.m. No evening check-in just to look committed. I'm terrified that if I disconnect, my manager will perceive it as lack of effort, which fit right back into my stress loop. And that's where cognitive reappraisal come in. You need to actively challenge that thought yourself. Remind yourself, disconnecting at 6 p.m. restore my cognitive resources so I can deliver high quality work tomorrow. Frame your boundary not as lack of effort but strategic tool for performance preservation. Combine distractional boundaries with your new job crafting proposal. You will systematically lower your cholesterol level while taking back your control of your career. It's going to be a challenge to jump between this role and change my habit. But separating the value from my perspective changed everything. I'm drafting the automatic pipeline proposal today. And my laptop going to shut 6 p.m. sharp. Thanks, Nisa.